Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true.
Welcome to Natural Native Podcast about 8 seasons in a row. I'm Mr. Fernandez, and
I am Chris Jaiwardena. Hello.
And we've finally reached the end of season 4. I'm sure Chris is relieved.
yeah, this has been a bit of a rough one.
Season 5, I think you'll like better, except for a couple episodes, but in general, it's a little more cohesive. I still like this season, but I like it more than he does. Because there's a lot of rough spots, and Jerky Carmine in this season, and just kind of comes on all at once, always.
Yeah.
But this is indeed the final episode of the season. It's Shirley and the Older Man, directed by Joel Zwick and written by Barry Rabinowitz. And I bet you get some facts about them, don't you, Chris?
I do. So we're going to start with Joel Zwick. Did you know? Another unsold pilot that Joel directed was for the Adventures in Babysitting adaptation. That's one piece of trivia for today. I also looked up one of his feature films in addition to directing a lot of sitcom television. Joel Zwick also directed the 1980s paranormal comedy Second Sight, yet another of those comedic Hollywood movies about psychics from that era. I highly recommend looking up the trailer for this movie, the VHS trailer that's on the IMDb page. It is a bafflingly strange, dopey-looking movie. Highly recommend take a look at that. It has the guy who played Elliot Blitzer in True Romance as a psychic, and I think it's John LaRocque as the lead. In addition, Joel Zwick on this episode of Laverne and Shirley, he has 20-something episodes left before the end of his run, so we'll get back to him a little bit easily pretty soon. As for Barry Rabinowitz, yet again, it's Barry. He has 2 more to go for this show before doing odd jobs here and there on TV writing. So this is the funny thing I got to figure out, is Barry was a contestant on Jeopardy and ended up winning at least once, if not twice. You can actually see his victory on archive.org as someone uploaded a videotape compilation of his appearances. It's pretty amusing. It's good stuff. But that's the interesting thing about him. Because of the fact he has 2 more to go, there's some other trivia we'll be saving for later episodes, but just wanted to point that one out.
That is awesome. I didn't even know that. That's really cool. That's really cool. Here's what the episode is about. While Laverne's out of town attending the birth of her cousin's baby in Chicago, Shirley begins to spend time in a semi-platonic way with Monroe Harrison, an older man she met at a park while he was feeding swans. Harrison, of the Harrison National Bank family, happens to be very rich, which stirs up childish jealousy in Carmine and envy in Edna. Monroe soon wants to take Shirley to meet his adult daughter and elderly mother for dinner, but unfortunately the daughter thinks Shirley is a social climbing gold digger. Deciding to get Shirley drunk to force her to show her quote-unquote true colors and speed the separation, Shirley falls into the woman's trap and is soon back up on the dinner table. But Shirley soon has to deal with much more than the drink. Carmine pops up to make things that much worse. Shirley then must decide between keeping Carmine's company or Monroe's. What do you think of this episode? We could just end this podcast with 3 words: fuck Carmine Ragusa.
Yeah, and not in the nice way. Yeah. I have there are things I like about this and a lot of things I don't. I'll start with the things that I did like about this episode. A lot of it ends in a sigh and a groan. Laverne, like the little bit that Penny is in this episode is adorable. I actually really, despite the fact that I don't like the aspects of the context of why Carmine and Shirley are making out at the end, I did like the way that Laverne is like, oh, sorry, when she realizes that they want to be alone because they want to, get hot and heavy and all of that. That works fine. Edna with the roses is adorable. That's a great, and just, actually Edna's fantastic through this whole episode, even when she's off camera and, Monroe comes in and says, I almost didn't get to these roses. Some woman in the hall tried to take them away from me. I thought that's great. Adele, the daughter, Adele Harrison is Suzanne Barnes. She is wonderful as Queen Bitch in this episode.
Yes.
And I rarely ever use that phrase, but it's just, God, she lives up to it so well. It's hard not to in these circumstances.
Exactly.
But then Carmine's a fucking pain in the ass.
I have a lot of the same reasons why I enjoy parts of this episode. I was going to add Protective Dad Frank, ready to murder Carmine.
Yes, I forgot to mention that. Yes.
Monroe is a really nice character. I like his friendship with Shirley. The big problem with this episode is that Carmine's unwarranted jealousy and his anger over her being close to this dude just make him look like a dick, and it's supposed to make him look like he, is only jealous because he loves her so much that he wants to give her all the things Monroe is, but he can't. Only that's not how it comes off.
No.
Only we know that he has dipped his wick into rich widows for money. So his hypocrisy is staggering in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
It is staggering. And it's almost hard to get past it because we know that he has done so many things with so many women while he was with Shirley, and with her blessing, according to Shirley, they still have that agreement that she can see other men and he can see ugly women, in quote unquote. But the second she lands a promising man, or seems to land a promising man that she enjoys spending time with, he becomes a dick weasel.
Yep. Total.
He is a dick weasel. That's the only thing I can say.
Total diaper baby. He deserves it. And like him just eating the flowers and just their the cat finally gets to suffer. Just keep whining. Keep digging your own grave. I'll kill you last.
Suffer and die, Carmine is the theme of this week's episode.
Yeah.
That's the theme we got going on here.
And it's you could make this about his insecurity without making him a complete, shitbird. You could make him, you could do this as a case of him trying to win her back, like trying to make it this really like he's doing all these gestures and he's trying to do things, and Monroe actually picking up on it and thinking it's rather sweet, and actually pushing her back and saying, we're just friends and I really enjoy spending time with you, going out on dates with you. But I mean, Monroe has no sort of expectation that this is going anywhere. So why is it that why is it that we can because sitcoms, I guess. Fuck it.
But the trouble with the show is that they never succeed or haven't succeeded so far and right up to the beginning of season 5 to convince us that Carmine really, really loves Shirley. And that Shirley really, really loves Carmine. Is that we get episodes where that will be the gospel and we'll believe it, like Squiggy in Love. Like, any episode, like even when he saves her in Bachelor Party.
Yes.
There will absolutely be moments and episodes where you believe he loves this girl, he wants to protect this girl means a lot to him. But most of the time, he's being this way. He's being a dick. He's being a jealous dick. He doesn't want her to have any other prospects, but he wants to sleep with girls who will put out without asking questions. So, you can't have it both ways, my dude.
Yep.
You either shit or you get off the pot.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
Yeah, and I mean, so, because we're 4 seasons in, which means age range, they're in their early to mid-20s. They're getting close to 25 here. Their relationship's gone on long enough that they need to make some very serious decisions.
Yes, exactly. And the show's reluctance to just either pull the trigger or have them be friends is annoying as heck. It would help if they gave us more rooting value. We want to root for them. At their best, we definitely root for them to be together. At their best, we want Carmine to succeed and be a happy, successful dude, as in the dance studio, as in a chorus line where he's supportive of Laverne and so good and kind to her and gives a crap about her dreams and is trying to make his own dream come true of dancing on stage. We care about Carmine in these episodes. But then he does frustrating crap. God, he does stuff like in Playing the Roxy, in the festival, in this episode, where he will just completely assassinate the audience's interest in his well-being. by being a douchebag, by being selfish, by being jealous, by not having the self-awareness to realize that he has not asked Shirley for exclusiveness, ergo he does not deserve exclusiveness in return, is just enervating. It drives you nuts.
It do.
It really do. And you know, it would help if he like bonded with Monroe, or he spoke to Monroe, or he spoke honestly to Shirley beforehand. Like, are we to believe that this man is thinking of the future with her, is dreaming of the future where he tries to give her the kind of things that Monroe can give her at the moment? Or are we to believe that he's just using her for a little fun on the side until someone else who will give him what he wants, quote unquote, and
yeah,
squish, 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 give them for the time being, you know? What are we supposed to believe? Which Carmine are we supposed to believe in? That is the question. And in this episode, dear God, it is so hard to root for the two of them. It doesn't help also that this Shirley is the most dumbed down Shirley we have gotten in the whole run of the series.
Please don't tell me it doesn't get worse, does it?
She becomes like more naive at a certain point in the LA years, which makes sense because they suddenly become little fish in a big pond. But it never, ever, 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 ever it gets as bad as it does in this episode where she's almost too stupid to live.
Yeah. And this is like, I was thinking about the final scene and like how to describe it. And it's the type of humor, the sort of the dismissing humor of domestic violence or just abuse, basically. Ugh. And I understand. Like, listen, I get that it's an accident. He wasn't aiming for her. You know, it's a context thing. But the thing is, you know, he was careless enough to still follow through on that punch, which is the big problem there. Yeah. But the type of humor in that, you know, that Carmine punched me in the face, you know, she says wistfully, that's an airplane joke. That's a Zaz joke. It's a bad Zaz joke. Yeah. But they would be able to pull it off because their characters in those worlds are so dumb that's you know, that's part of the point. Yeah. So
it's supposed to be and he hit me and it felt like a kiss kind of moments.
Right.
But the big problem with that is how Eddie Mecca plays this scene. He plays it almost sarcastically as if he hates the lines. Look at the creepy serial killer look on his face when he says Carmine Ragusa, wife beater. He looks like he's considering it and thinks it's a good idea.
Yep.
It's just, who told him that delivery was a good idea? It's not a good idea. It looks awful for the character and for the way he's supposed to feel in the scene. He's supposed to be projecting regret and sorrow, and instead it looks like he's either enjoyed it or is making a joke out of things. Ugh.
Gee, I guess we know why, despite all of his successes, there was that Adventures in Babysitting adaptation that didn't get sold.
Oh, it's almost like everybody ran for their lives a second. So actually, I have seen that pilot. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not like levels of Ferris Bueller, but it's bad enough.
Yeah, right.
At least get your original actors, kids. At least get your original actors.
Yep. Anyway, I was gonna say though is that my mom's comments through this, man, she did not like Carmine through this one. I'm trying to find one of them. There it goes. She said, he was so mean and rude and bossy, but I know he has to because it's a sitcom.
And that's the thing. This show is normally so much better than that. It's just normally so... It can be better than that. It at least has that potential.
Mm-hmm.
Like, gosh, do better. Do better. Do better. Just do better. But, you know, there's at least some decent things in this episode. I like the way the episode opens with Shirley trying to clean up the house and Laverne telling her that she's going to use a ring system to let her know what the sex of her cousin's child is. 2 rings for a girl, 2 rings for a boy, 1 ring if it's a boy, 2 rings if it's a girl, And 3 rings if it's twin boys, and 4 rings if it's twin girls.
Right. I'm pretty sure that is correct.
What if I pick up too soon? And you're paying for the call.
Right.
No, that's adorable. That's cute.
Yeah.
And the fact that Laverne's just shoving dishes underneath her bed with congealed food on them. No wonder they had a rat.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Twinkles, or was it what was the rat's name? I'm trying to remember. It was
it was Twinkles. I think it was Twinkles.
Yeah, Mr. Twinkles. Yeah, how can you kill something named Twinkle?
Yes.
Gosh.
We found out that Jello does harden.
Mm-hmm.
You were going to say, you were in the middle of saying.
Yeah, I was in the middle of pointing that out, yeah.
Yes,
Sooner or later. It does. It's amazing true facts that they're just busting out all over the place.
I loved their outfits in this scene.
Yes.
It was some really cute outfits. They both look great.
Yep.
And then in comes Edna with the flowers, a little bit after Laverna's left. And Edna is so flower thirsty. Does Frank just give her nothing? Or what? Wow.
Yeah, possibly. And there's some women, they can never have too many flowers.
Yeah. I'm mildly allergic to flowers, so I'm not one of those women. So that's
good to know. Good to know.
I like chocolate. Give me chocolate. Even though I'm mildly allergic to chocolate, I can still eat it, and I will every bit of it.
Yeah, but the flower stuff was amusing. A lot of it also just it's a nice little. It's a cool little trait for Edna for me, just because it's like an interesting foible. It's amusing but frustrating if you were to deal with it. But
exactly.
But it's cute. I like it.
Yeah, it's sweet.
I do love the story of how Cheryl and Monroe met at the park.
Yes.
She was consoling an ugly duckling.
Yeah, which is so Shirley. That is so Shirley. And he's feeding the swans. And of course they met over kindness, which automatically makes you root for them to be happy together. Even if this isn't a real romance for Shirley, which it's not. It's just basically a platonic friendship with this dude. But, I automatically want him to be with her more than I want her to be with Carmine.
Oh, yeah.
And that's sad.
Yep.
Automatic, because they already have things in common with each other. And he's very gentle with her and very nice with her and doesn't mind that she's not incredibly sophisticated. The problem with this is that Shirley is not sophisticated, and she does think that she's more sophisticated than she is. But in previous episodes, she was far more sophisticated than she is in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not knowing that an orchestra pit exists.
Yeah, that one took me by surprise. And, and like needing needing the program to know the names of all the people, and it's like, ooh, boy, okay.
Yeah, she's never been this dumb. She's never been this dumb, and she'll never be this dumb again. Like, she is the personal improvement person. She would know all these things. She would research this and bone up on them. It's just cheap, easy jokes, and that are uncharacteristic for her. At least in my little dumb opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. It is also my dumb little opinion as well. Yeah. I share this opinion.
We are unifying our opinions, and they are no longer dumb. Yay!
Yay! We have a consensus. Therefore, they are now smirked.
Yay! Consensus. Anyway, I did like the line, Portuguese, a romance language, but she's also still smarter than that. She may not be able to read French like we learned in High Neighbor Book 2, but she at least vaguely recognizes what it looks like on paper.
Yeah.
Like, so you just kind of shake your head and rub your temples, stuff like that. Gosh. Only roses give me hives, though, Edna.
Yeah.
I had to throw that in. Also, the fact that Shirley dated a guy who wipes the sweat off of ponies.
Yes. Right.
It's just so cute. That's so Shirley. And she doesn't care that his hands are sticky because of that. I thought that was very sweet. When this script does understand who Shirley is, they get it perfectly right. But God, she is so much smarter than this. She almost reaches like Lenny and Squiggy levels of lack of social awareness. which is incredibly bizarre for her.
In some respects, especially when we get to the actual dinner scene later, not to jump ahead, but it feels like a season 1 version of Shirley to me again.
Even season 1, Shirley had bigger brains than this.
True.
I would argue that. By at least the 3rd or 4th episode, I'm trying to learn how to improve and gain culture and escape my blue-collar universe self was starting to germinate. So, even then, she'd be smarter than this, because Lord and butter.
True that, man.
Cindy does look beautiful throughout this episode. I had to say that. The costuming is excellent. Her sundresses are so pretty. I just want to throw that out. Especially the yellow sundress that she wears for her first date with Monroe. That's really pretty.
It's beautiful.
Like that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. Speaking of also, the roses, so fragrant, so beautiful, so fragile. Ow, ow, you vicious vegetable. How dare you do that? And she gets stuck on the thorn. I love that. That bit is so perfectly done.
Yeah. How dare you hurt me?
Yeah. Goodness. And then we actually get to see Monroe himself. And I still have my first comment still ringing in my head. What the hell, Battlestar Galactica guest spot did he walk out of?
That was a great comment. I still remember you typing that in the first time we watched this episode. and of course, we have a special guest star.
Yeah.
For this episode, yes.
Yeah, it was the good old Robert Alda, the parental unit of Alan Alda.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so you can look him up on IMDb. He did a lot of stuff here and there. He was kind of known more in the time in which this episode was made, which is let me put it this way: this episode was aired 7 years before I was born, so that's a little bit before my time. So if he was from before that time, then I know Alan Alda, obviously. But anyway, the one comment, and this of course is going to be very me. He also was in House of Exorcism, the re-edit of Lisa and the Devil, which I think means that is our first Mario Bava movie reference on the podcast.
Boom, 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 boom. Yes, it is.
I don't know why it took 4 seasons to get there. We mentioned Society before Mario Bava, twice even.
Yes.
So
yes.
Go figure.
Well, Society needed to be brought out and drug into the light for a reason.
Yes. For buttheads and Billy Warlocks.
Yes, indeed. And all the gore ever.
Anyway, though, Robert Alda is I really liked him as this character. It's part of as you were saying, like we get to like him right away and kind of wish better things for him. He's really good.
Yeah. He does not disabuse our positive opinion of this character. The only thing that gets a little weird is that notion that he never lets his mother out of her room. Or somebody in that family's not letting the mother. I think it was implied it was the daughter.
It's the daughter, Adele does that, and he is kind of allowing it. My mother was not happy with that. It's a weird, like, behind the veil there, there's this wicked web of secrets, I mean, truly, what is man but a miserable pile of secrets?
What are the rich? Find out this and more on Dark Shadows.
Oh my gosh, I love that I made a Castlevania reference and bam, Dark Shadows hit me back with that.
I had to go for the opposite end of the reference. So.
I love you.
I love you too.
But yeah, no, the scene. Did you like the scene though with the two of them on the couch chatting, the Boo Boo Kitty and all that?
Yeah, they had nice, relaxed chemistry. She really has more of a father-daughter vibe with him, which, considering Shirley's background and her psychological makeup, and her "I have been abandoned by daddy, but I love my daddy anyway" issues. Yeah, I'm not surprised that she's bonding with this guy and going out with this. Alda is fabulous in this. Robert Alda just nails this character. And Cindy bounces off of him very well. There's some very nice chemistry going on.
Mm.
I loved all the little jokes like, just stick a rose in her face. She's allergic because, as we said before, and it tries to grab the flowers out of the poor guy's hands when she's confronted by him in the hallway. And Shirley's comment when she smells them. Oh, they smell just like bathroom freshener.
Yeah, love that.
And I love that the two of them kind of playing with Boo Boo Kitty, her introducing Boo Boo Kitty to him, is a entrance point for the boys.
Yep.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello,
Goodbye.
Squig. Oh, that's good.
And then Monroe calls the cat Booby Kitty.
Yes.
Whoa, Booby Kitty.
Yeah, and the moment the line, and if your granddaddy doesn't mind, you know, my mom just only allowed this, ooh. Gosh.
Oh,
Support sock hop, old fogey.
Support sucker.
I
Oh, God, the book.
I use
Boys are
mature
hilarious.
gentlemen.
Yes. So does my mother.
Squiggy, squig.
The double jokes here. I use mature gentlemen, so is my mother, and necessity is the mother of invention, so is my father. Both
Nah.
of those are funny. Both of those are hilarious.
Oh, that's good.
The boys, for their 5 seconds there in this episode, are both hilarious. And Lenny's big walrus laugh gets to come out.
Yep.
And
Oh, God. And just the whole chain letter gag.
yes. And the revelation that the boys send the girls have seen postcards.
Yep.
Which is very them. Very them. Very, very them. And I bet you Laverne kept all of them.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure
Oh, yeah.
she looks at them every night.
Oh, look, this one has a grape jelly stain on it. Oh, boy.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, and that whole discussion as the boys, you know, leave and, you know, and as they get shooed away, I do enjoy that this is this interesting reminder their apartment is full of just absolute kooks, you know, the kooky people, kooky pook, you know, Knepp. Knepp Street is a hell of a street, hell of a living.
Oh yeah, heck of a neighborhood, heck of a town. And of course the exit line, you can't break the chain because your children will be born with no clothes.
Nice.
And Lenny's just horrified by that notion. It's like, boys, you just know that people are born nude.
Yeah, I assume like if you see these baby pictures, like, why you got me naked in all of these?
It's disgusting. It ain't nice. It ain't natural.
Gosh.
And at least we find out that they have a neighbor that puts on a tail and chases cars.
My vote's Jerry.
We never meet
Jerry.
this neighbor.
It's totally Jerry.
Jerry's secretly a furry? Wow.
It would, you know, I'm not going to say it would explain a lot, but I mean, he seems like the kind of person that just has to narcissistically feed himself in all these different places. So, I mean, it's a great way is to find, you know, some sort of group that feels marginalized in the world and then take advantage of them. Because he's Jerry.
There you go.
Fuck you, Jerry.
Fuck Jerry. We never have to deal with him again. He can bite all of our behinds.
Yeah.
So we time-lapse through Shirley and Monroe's date by a clever use of highway signs.
Yep. Yeah, my mom pointed out the shaky cam on the car shots. She was like, "Oh, look, it's authentic."
Yes. And on top of all of that, we get an exterior shot of the hall that was used in Third Annual Shots Talent Show. They're almost Annual Shots Talent Show. That the place where they're rehearsing. That's absolutely the same exterior. So
oh, nice.
Yeah. And of course, we get back to the apartment and we discover Shirley doesn't know how distance works.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like many of these jokes that make her look like a moron, it's for the sake of trying to get a laugh, and it feels so fucking desperate.
Yeah. It's like they have to point up Shirley's naivete in comparison to Monroe, and they do it by making her as dumb as humanly possible. And you don't have to even go that far. All you have to do is take this girl and put her in a bigger, wider context where her sophistication and her sureness of her intelligence is put into question. Like, have Shirley say, "I know what French is," and she'll spout out a French phrase, and what she said doesn't mean what she thinks it means. Do the Peggy Hill thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or she thinks she has a full mastery and fluency of the language, only she's saying something she shouldn't be saying. Just said my mother looks like a clown. Oh, clowns are sacred in the Feeney family. You can do it so easily.
Mm-hmm. So easily.
So easy.
And not to mention, and even to have Monroe taken in, you know, stride, where it's like, how would you know my mother looks like a clown? You haven't met her yet. As a matter of fact, I should introduce you. And see, there you go. Segue. Bam.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's much easier to do that than to make Shirley sound like Lenny and Squiggy's sister.
Oh God!
Version.
Yeah, I was wondering. There was like some like thought that was like congealing in my brain, and I think you just smacked right onto it.
Yeah.
Ugh, God.
Yeah. She's like a cleaner version of Lenny and Squiggy's sister. We do get to meet Squiggy's sister eventually. By the way.
Thank goodness! I was worried we weren't going to meet any more of the Kozlowskis.
We don't get to meet any more of the Kozlowskis, sadly. We get to meet the last Squiggy's family though. Season 8. Season 8. So yes. There's something though that's nice and sweet about her feeling like she's been wined and dined because she's drinking orange drink that costs $1. That's cute. That's how you do it. You don't have her not understand how life works. You don't turn her brain off.
I mean, it's not. She went to the Opry. She didn't go to a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, exactly. And also, they've been to at least a few musical plays. That's at least been hinted that they've done that. I know because they're lower class, they go the Harlem Globetrotters instead. But they're not complete babes in the wood.
Yep.
Oh God.
It's just God. It's so weird. It's so. I mean, that's the thing that I think doesn't work about these jokes for me. Is they're a weird, conventional, arbitrary way of getting a laugh, and it just doesn't work. Yeah, like what works is like the orange drink, or and my note about his kind of his expression to that is, oh, he's a poverty tourist. That's all he is, And it's like that then like the joke about the line, my daughter's 30 years old, then she must be allowed to stay up as long as she wants. Like that's good. Like that's a funny bit. But
yeah, exactly.
God, it's just there's a strange I just want it to be better.
Yeah, it could be better. It's so much easier to make this. There's so many easy ways to improve it. There's a dozen ways where you can improve the script and make it better. Yeah, it's easy enough just to have her, like I said, be overwhelmed by the strictures of higher society. It's so much easier to like have her try to bring this guy into her world and have him clash and mesh with her friends. Instead, they just dumb Shirley down to the point where she doesn't even sound like herself anymore. And it's just like, this is one of those episodes where if Cindy called the script crappy, she had the right to call it crappy, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
She absolutely had the right to do that, in my little opinion. No offense to the writer, but this is how I feel about it.
Yeah, sorry, Barry, but I definitely...
You've done better, Barry. You've done way better.
And the thing is, we don't know the circumstances. Part of me is starting to wonder, was this at the point where the writer's room was very contentious? There was a lot of story consultants on this season.
Yes.
I wonder if just it was a case of that, and Declan left after this season, so I'm wondering if like people could kind of see the writing on the wall. They need to get out, do different projects. I mean, this was even like around the time that some of the people who produced the show were starting to like split off and do other stuff. So I'm wondering if just the whole lineup behind the scenes was starting to change up. Where like Gans and Rothman are doing other things, where there's less of that sense of control, because that's the main thing. Is this episode has ideas I like, but it doesn't envision them very well the way that a good, not even necessarily singular, but just a cohesive vision, that is a conglomerate of good ideas and good people, talented people working on something. It's like some of the qualities are there, but not enough.
My thought about it is it's the lack of a book and the constant conflict going on backstage. It's got to be a combination of both. And sometimes if you get the show in pure script form, like we have friends who own scripts that were either used by cast members on the show or were used by production people or executives at CBS and ABC, and the people who worked at Standards of Practices. And you'll see some differences that existed in the scripting level that either never made it to screen or got edited into little bits and pieces. So the chain of command was a little wonky at this point, because as successful as the show was, And as big of a deal as the show was, it was chaotic backstage because the stars wanted to project one thing, the writers wanted to do another thing, Gary Marshall wanted a third thing. So
yeah. Yep.
That's the end result.
Yep. Because I mean, even other shows where the actors and other shows I've heard of cases where the actors, the showrunner, and the writers kind of had to kind of do different things. They eventually converge. Like that's famously the big twist at the end of Battlestar Galactica season 2, the Ron Moore one that is, where they do a time jump by I think it's like 6 or 8 months or something, and the actors were really pissed off about that. They were like, my God, I've been working on this character. I feel very protective. I've actually influenced the writing of this character, and they're doing this big change. But by the time they get to season 4, everyone's back on the same page again. They've realized what the goal is, and the actors and the writers and the directors and the showrunner are all like, okay, let's figure this out. Let's do this. And so when you get through season 4, it's a much stronger conclusion because everyone knows where it's going. Yeah. That's my personal opinion. I know a lot of people disagree with that. But again, with this episode, it feels like this is a place where they didn't, with this episode being an example, I think, especially with how really rough, back and forth, how weak elements of this season have been, because sometimes it's not necessarily I hated it just was disappointing, and it feels like this is another disappointing leading into hate.
This is another one of those episodes where you know what could be improved. You just know what could be improved. You look at it and I can do this, put that there, bam. The big problem with the season is that this is when the show was at its acme. Number 1 in the ratings for about 3 years in a row at this point, by the time this season ends. And then enter season 5 and a lot of turmoil, a lot of network turmoil. And I think the end result was better show, more cohesion, because everybody was drawing together. Everybody was going through a lot of stuff, and the producers were struggling against ABC to get back in their time slots. And the end result was a lot of legendary episodes. So what you just said was 100% correct, especially even for this show. We're going to get to that when we head up to season 5, which we'll be doing next episode. Gosh, time does fly.
Yeah, when the time does the flying thing, which it will do. It's amazing that we're recording this now. We're going to take a break for watching episodes and then come back for season 5, but we've recorded so many in advance. The audience, our listeners, will have 0 gap in between.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we're going to go on a holiday break.
Yep. Anyway, at the very least, it's to cap off this portion of the episode, before we get to the dinner with the family. The give me a sign and then the tea kettle going off is it's like my note is it means your tea's ready, honey. And then and then I love her. Suddenly it's like it's a sign, and then she cries out, I don't know, what does this mean?
Yeah. We didn't actually cover Carmine's entrance and their fight.
Oh God, do we have to? Do we have to?
Well, my notes read as follow: "Shut up, Carmine. You fucked half the building, Carmine. You aren't even exclusive. Shut up. Why is he biting the roses?" Those are my notes in exact order.
So mine are forget my knock. Ooh, jealous Carmine. He must be the one who chases cars. Ha, nice. Total diaper baby Carmine. He deserves what he feels. Eating the flowers. Just quotes to remind myself of things. It's either him or me. Well, goodbye then. The cat probably is some. Yeah, no, I already. Basically, all the other notes I had, I already mentioned already early when we were dunking on Carmine already before. It's like I feel like I need a break to build up to that final charge at the end.
Yeah, God. And my final note is he has no right to order her around and call her a little girl. Him calling her a little girl is. Ugh.
Oh man. Oh God. Yeah, I think my mom. I didn't write it down. My mom was mad. My mom was so mad at that. God.
God. He's just gross. He's gross in this scene. Why does he get to condescend to her like he hasn't done a bajillion disgusting things?
I keep thinking like this is another reminder he belongs in like a Martin Scorsese or Sopranos episode. Like just he belongs in a Terrence Winter show. He doesn't belong here when he's like this, because these are the kind of guys that in a mobster show, they're assholes to their girlfriend or their wife, and then eventually they get their eyeballs popped out by getting their head stuck in a vice.
Oh.
Sorry, was the casino flashbacks a little too strong there?
I'm actually just mentally picturing it and like eyeballs popping. Carmine.
Do.
My God, no. No, I just had to visually conjure that one up, and I was like, "Whoa, okay."
Yeah. I guess I may cut this part out because of body horror, but I guess a casino, there's you don't see the full shot. They cut it, but KMB actually did do the effect with the Vice scene where the eye does actually pop out, like all the way.
Cool.
And so I guess there's I don't know if you can find it now, but I guess the work, but somebody mentioned, I saw a filmmaker saying that they saw the work print and they confirmed it's like a full 10 seconds of the shot that was cut.
Oh, just to please the MPA after all those F words that are in the
movie. No, and I'm sure. No, and that was during the Clinton administration, so they were very very harsh on violence at that time.
Yeah. At this point, it's too late. It was too late to get the genie back in that bottle, though.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Anyway, back on track though. Fuck Jack Valenti.
Fuck Carmine Ragusa.
Yeah. So, and then these rich fuckers again.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, I loved Adele as a villain. She's a wonderful villain. I also thought it was interesting that typically we see Laverne dealing with the snoots. It was interesting to see Shirley Solo dealing with a snoot. I kind of like that. Yeah,
that's an interesting reversal of what's typical for the show. Yep.
And Morgan Upton as the butler was great. Yes. He was also in who was Morgan Upton, who played the butler in this episode, was also in Corvette Summer and was an uncredited voice of a stormtrooper apparently in Star Wars: A New Hope.
Oh, all things I didn't know. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, I had no clue. Shirley is normally, once again, way more sophisticated than this. She's taking pictures of the entire house. She aspires to high society, but she can't really hack it. But she's trying to hack it. And naturally, her inability to hold her liquor goes against her. Poor girl.
Yep.
God, poor girl.
Yep. God. Yeah. And my sad face note is they put the grandmother in the closet.
God.
Oh, God. It's so unfortunate. I mean, that's unfortunate. It's a good joke. I mean, I felt that those jokes worked. It just was like, yikes, wow, these are villainous characters. Yeah. Which, as we were saying, this is one of those, another case of the rich snobs don't get like the really good comeuppance. Which, especially given Robert Alda, despite the fact he is, plays it very differently, for some reason I felt the similarity between him and the guy who ran the department store in Guilty Until Proven Not Innocent.
Yes.
And seeing Adele not get some sort of comeuppance was interesting.
Yeah. She desperately needs a comeuppance. The way they capped the scene, it doesn't work for anybody. It really doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. The fact that nobody, and then she has to turn to Monroe and just tell him to take his mother outside more often. Stop keeping her upstairs. I did like some portions of Drunk Shirley, like her singing "Row, Row, Row Your Boat."
Oh yeah, that's actually my note. Shirley is drunk and has turned into Scorpio. Run away screaming.
I did like hot and yellow and round all over. That's what the sun is.
Yeah.
I love her little observations about Laverne. I wish Laverne was here. She'd hate you too.
Yeah, let's drink to Laverne. And off goes the tablecloth. My mom liked the detail of her shoes still being caught on the tablecloth. The whole jumping up on it brought back some wonderful memories of working on the Drunk Show and just being around sloppy drunks for 6 hours and filming their shenanigans. Oh God, those shoots were so fucking long.
I can imagine.
You'd also have to hang out with them and make sure they're okay and sobering up.
Understandably, because nobody can leave.
Yep.
You gotta let somebody drive off and down that state.
Yep. No, we didn't have anything like that. No, we had a lot of them had rides that would come pick them up. But anyway, I did think it's super cute that Laverne is missed. It's like super sweet. It's that I love you so much type of drunk that she wants to cuddle and just go to sleep.
Yes. Laverne hates this song too.
God.
That's cute. Poor Monroe's mother just never seeing the sunlight. Ugh, that's just like a creepy detail and everything. And, you know, poor Shirley's drunk out of her mind, and Monroe comes in, and he has no idea what the heck's going on.
Yeah, Monroe, row your boat gently down the... Yeah. God.
Yeah, and, he figures out, what's going on. He pretty much knows the score.
Yep.
But, enter Carmine. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just God, Carmine. My note is, and here comes the moron. Great.
I don't know what he's thinking or even how he got past their security.
I imagine that Donald the butler saw this angry young man, probably he could assume coming to Shirley's rescue, knew that trouble was going to get started, and as the true chaos maestro of the household, opened the door and said, "Right this way, sir."
Get the hell off my carpet.
Right. Oh, God. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's a case of like the swing, the miss, the pow, knocks her out, and then he taps it. The moment he taps her again and goes, "I hit her again," because he tries to smack her awake.
Yeah.
And my mom at this point yells out, "Yeah, you did, you bastard."
Your mom's the best. Your mom stays the best. Your mom stays winning. That's glorious.
That's Mama. That's Mama. She was mad. Yeah. She was so mad.
I can't blame her. I can't blame her. I cannot blame her at all. Because good God, it is hard to enjoy Carmine in this episode for all the reasons we stated. And of course, we already got, down on most of his dialogue earlier in the episode. We were ranting about it, but he takes her home, and Frank are pissed and ready to murder him.
Yep.
Because they don't have all the information.
Yeah, my dinner's on her eye. I'm just trying to figure out what happened. Just protective Frank, protective of Shirley is just, it's the only upside to this whole scenario. If this was leading to Shirley and Carmine's breakup, this would go over amazingly and like shockingly well. Yeah. With honestly, Frank just being like, "You are getting out of this building," and Edna saying, "You are not welcome here. Get your stuff and leave." Yeah. Like, that would be amazing.
Yeah, honestly, to be honest.
Oh, God.
And instead, we get the sad speech where Carmine explains that, he was mad because he can't give her what Monroe could give her. And she explains, "Well, that doesn't matter to me." Yeah. And, and the kissing and the hug, which would be sweet in another episode. Yep. Another episode with a different tone and different words would be lovely. Yep. Unfortunately, it's not, because it's in this episode.
And it leads to the line, "What do you want with me? Who wants a bozo who wants a girl giving them... Who wants a bozo who gives a girl a black eye?" And she goes, "I do." And it's like, Shirley, no! What are you doing?
Oh, God. The weird pro-domestic violence tone in this episode is gross. Between Mom being on the second floor for years and Shirley getting punched and saying she loves him no matter what. And then Laverne's horrifying end line. Great. Good gravy. And it's like, this would be sweet if he hadn't punched her in the face and been such a douche. If he had actually been hurt instead of angry, maybe this would have gone over better. Because a hurt Carmine, when he's been Mr. Macho for so long, would have been a change of pace and made the audience go, "Oh, this is serious to him. He's brokenhearted."
Mm-hmm. Because
you don't get that.
Because that's the thing. Angry Carmine is funny. Sad Carmine is serious. Dan Studio already established this because he wasn't just furious in that episode. Yeah. He was sad. He was really genuinely hurt, and you could see that difference. And here they're not making that distinction.
Exactly. They make too many jokes about it, and then the tone is so off. His reaction is off. That makes me almost wonder if Eddie Mecca hated having to deliver that line, because he looks like a serial killer in an Ed Wood movie.
Yeah.
He looks like Arch Hall Jr. That's Arch Hall Jr. level delivery.
Yeah, Arch Hall Jr. and the Sadist. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And we know he's better than this.
Yeah.
We know he can act.
He's been better this season. Earlier this year, he's already been better than that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I don't know if it was the direction that screwed him over, or he hated the line and he deliberately dicked the line over, which I don't know. I'm not going to put the aspiration upon him. But, oh, jeez, the delivery. Oh.
Yeah, like because my note here is that, you know, one of the things that confused me about this scene is that do they have an understanding? Are they dating? What the? It's like, can they make up their goddamn fucking minds? Can they just?
The problem is that Sorry.
I was just gonna say, it's just I just want them to make a decision on something, because this is a weird space of in between that isn't going anywhere. It's going in circles. Yeah. And it's like, just give us a goal, because this is why I have so many issues with television, with sitcoms, with unplanned storytelling. This is the fucking Star Wars sequel trilogy all over again, where it's like there's no plan. You know exactly what I'm talking about. They have no fucking idea what they're doing.
Yep, they didn't plan it from movie to movie, so it's just a disaster. Like, the problem with Shirley and Carmine is that they are oh so close to coming up with a resolution. They keep edging so close to saying, this is it, you're the love of my life, let's be together, but the show doesn't have the guts to do it. Ergo, mess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just at least, if you're going to do these kind of plots, at least bring them closer together and have them be exclusive instead of backing off and then Shirley just dates other dudes. And then he's not jealous of these other dudes. Him being volcanically jealous of this guy when she's been to the Schatz mansion before. You know? She's been around rich people before. So, even his reaction makes a little sense at this point.
God, I hate the romanticization of this moment. I don't like these qualities. God.
Yeah. There are so many different and better ways to do this. The show has done this in so many better and different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And just, Jesus Christ. It's a hot mess. It's a gross, hot mess. And
then Laverne comes in and almost makes it worse with that last line. Tease a guy so long and then he's going to hit you. It's just, Oh,
God, I hate that line. I hate everything about that line. And it's a shame because when Laverne re-enters, everything about the kid being born and having a nose like Uncle Fungy's and everyone having to save up to get a nose job. That's funny. It's
cute. It's so, like, all of that is cute until he hit me in the face, and then the tease a guy so long line, it's like, God.
Like, Jesus Christ. And that's why is that why Laverne's putting out? That just, the double grossness of that message. And we just had an episode that succinctly explains to its audience that you can be any kind of person you want to be, and you pick your creeps. You don't let anybody hurt you. And then you get this romanticized horse shit. And it's like, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
The end result is thinking that Shirley deserves better, and Carmine's deserves to be put into a freaking blender. Face first. You know?
Yeah, need to go whole hog, Peter Jackson, brain dead on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Are you feeling better? Because I'm feeling better.
Oh, God. My last note is, yikes show.
My last one is from my mom talking about the family. That the daughter was horrible to the mom. The dad shouldn't be letting her do that to his mom. They want her. They must be something bad. They just want the grandma's money. That's all. That's my mom's note.
Possible. Your mom has a very good nose for this stuff. Honestly.
Yeah.
Gracious. Also, we can't forget. It was actually implied Fred and Edna.
Oh, wow.
Frank and Edna's sex. Cut that out, future Chris.
No, we're keeping that in. That's cute.
No, we're not. It's not Frank and Edna's sex.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. The Frank and Edna will go upstairs and make our own fun. I love his response to that. You remember the line?
No, because I'm too embarrassed that I said Fred. Go ahead.
Come on, Frank. We'll go upstairs and make our own fun. He goes, hey, you shouldn't talk like that in front of the kids.
Kids. That's cute. Yes. That was adorable. That was adorable. I remember that now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. God. Are we close to ranking time? We just want to just throw some more spitballs at Carmine.
You know what? I've done it a lot this year. I think I'm good. I think I'm ready to I'm ready to just rank it. I'm tired. I'm trying to be less. I want to be less negative. It's been an interesting couple of weeks. It's been an interesting couple of weeks since, the really last major recording session. So yeah, this is going to be very strange. I don't know what kind of person I'm going to be by the time I edit these episodes for broadcast.
Heaven knows at this point.
So what are you thinking you're giving this one? I am genuinely curious. I'm pretty solid on where I'm at. I'm going to land.
Oh God. About a 3. No. 2.1. No, 3. No. I'm going with a 3 because I genuinely like Monroe. His relationship with Shirley is cute. The boy scene is cute. Laverne at the beginning is cute. Everything else, though, from Shirley's characterization to Carmine being a douche weasel to the domestic violence jokes, suck. They suck. It sucks. And that's unfortunate because we know the show can do better. This writer's done better. This director's done better. Cindy Williams is trying with all of her might to hold this together and make us believe. The Carmine and Shirley relationship at this point, they should have just pulled the trigger, had them keep getting closer, let them be exclusive. Because, God, the back and forth nonsense. His childish jealousy is gross. When he's allowed to sleep with every woman on the planet and she cannot even look at them and smile, that is gross. So, yeah, there. I stand up on my 3. How about you?
I think I was thinking of 4, but when you took it down those extra notches, 3, maybe a 3.5, just because I like the Adele and Donald characters so much, in addition to Monroe.
Yeah.
But 3.5. I think is where I'm just gonna land. It's 3.5, just
Adele
like a little teensy tiny bit.
Yeah.
God, no, I am gonna take it down to a 3. Just no, don't. Yeah. I want Italian Spider-Man to just beat the shit out of Carmine and say, "Respect women."
Respect women. Respect women.
And yes, for anyone who's keeping track, yes, I am aware that part of the joke of Italian Spider-Man saying that is that he often smacks a woman shortly after he says that. So I understand that joke, but I still want him to beat the shit out of Carmine anyway.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly at this point. Jesus. Do you like that, huh? Respect women, you dickball.
God, what a fucking mess. It's another explicit episode for season 4. Why am I not surprised? God.
Come watch Night After Night, where we curse out fictional characters.
God, every time I think of fictional characters, I think of that bit from Jay and Silent Bob, Strike Back, where it's Holden is trying to explain the Jans. It's like, they said all this stuff about us on the internet. It's like, they're not talking about you. They're talking about fictional characters, all right? Just fictional characters. Am I getting through to you at all? Yeah, we have feelings, we have opinions. This is why we're hoping this is why you listen to the show, is because we have intense opinions and we share them intensely at each other and at you.
We definitely do.
All right, I guess that's it though for today. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it for today's episode.
Wow. Okay. Well,
we survived season 4. Survive it, we're dead.
Woo-saw. Okay. Well, thank you again, everyone, so much for joining us for Night After Night. And if you would like to know more, please join us at Night After Night Pod on Facebook, Tumblr, WordPress, Patreon, YouTube, or Night After Night PC on Twitter. So you can keep up the discussion, tell us what you like, tell us what your favorite episodes are, and what your thoughts were on season 4. Because we'll be doing some post-mortem stuff on season 4 when we get to this point of posting this episode on the Twitters and all that sort of stuff. And we just hope everybody out there is doing all right. We're hanging in there. We're now officially halfway through the show, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Wow.
Yep. 4 seasons is halfway to 8. Season 8.
Oh, geez. Do you have a synopsis for what's coming up for us in season 5, or are we going to keep us shrouded in mystery?
We are probably going to have a guest, because we opened season 5 with a new time slot and a familiar crossover. The girls go camping with their friends and meet up with Fonzie and Richie and get roped into a disaster in which they almost end up married to the brides. This is Shotgun Wedding. Part 2 and Part 1 we're probably going to cover both, even though Part 1's a Happy Days episode, the girls are in it. So it's probably going to be a double episode, and we're probably going to rope in a guest to review it with us.
Oh, that's exciting! Oh, geez! Oh, gosh, that's going to be quite the thing there. Hopefully, people will be tuning in for that next time there.
Oh yeah, it'll be full of sop.
Yeah.
What's up?
Anyway, so thanks again, everybody. And I guess our party wisdom is respect women, Carmine sucks, and
there you go.
Be excellent to each other.
Also, I wanted to add that I will get to talk about what happened when the show switched time slots. There is a long, involved story about season 5, and we're probably going to open the podcast with it.
Nice.
Y'all have a good time now. A better time than Carmine had. Easy there, Archibald Jr. Cracor. No, Cracor. No, Cracor.